What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we will be talking about Bitcoin today. It is the 21st day of June. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. If you are a dad, if you have a dad, hit that like button, baby. 21st day of June, 8 hours, 41 minutes left in the day, 64.1K being the price today. I do suspect that we have lower to go still. I still do suspect that we have lower to go, and here's why. Just real quick, simple statistical probability. For whatever reason, it just is the way it is. I think the reason for this is maybe not that complicated. I think that it's rational, but just hear me out real quick. Okay, so whenever it's the weekend, right? It's Saturday here, it's Sunday here. Notice how these days are green. Monday, Tuesday, we top off in the beginning of the week, and then we sell off the rest of the week. Okay, Saturday here we pumped. Sunday we saw a higher high, and then we started to dump there. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday was bad. Here Saturday, Sunday we pumped. We actually had a green weekend, and then we dumped over the week. And then here Saturday, Sunday we pumped. Monday we topped off, and then we dumped over the rest of the week. Guess what? Saturday or Friday, Saturday we've pumped. Sunday today we're neutral. We're kind of potentially about to move up. I wonder what's going to happen next week. A lot of you might be thinking that, okay, here we are, and we've got the higher low, we're ready to go up. Look, I could draw a fancy straight line, and this line means that we're going up. Can't you see it? It's obvious, right? But that's not, and maybe not even that line, maybe something like this. But you see it's sloppy. Either you're connecting dots that don't deserve to be connected, or the dots that do deserve to be connected say that we're going down. There's no support here, right? If we were to find support and move up higher, I think that we would have found support on the daily closing high here or on these wicking highs. The fact that we've gone this low makes me believe that now what we're doing is, instead of testing this area for support, is now we're testing it for resistance. And likely what's going to happen is we do go lower. So sure, today, tomorrow, maybe we move up a little bit higher. Maybe we do. But I would, and I do suspect that we're going to see lower prices, lower than this at least. It's completely possible that we do go below this low. Hold on one second. I just want to close something out. Let me just see how we're doing. It is loading. Yeah, there we go. We'll just close that out. And bam, there we go. Because I do think it's going to start moving down actually relatively soon. But I do think that we'll see lower lows. Again, potentially lower than this. Maybe we go lower than this low here. We'll see. Time will tell. Let's get into it. Okay, let's get into the 1 hour time frame and see from there. Yeah, we'll just start there. And maybe before we get into the 1 hour, I like to do this little summary so that we're all on the same page. Because if I say it every day, maybe you're confused one day as to what my thoughts are, but if I say it every day, you've got to be very dense in the head to not understand what the perspective that I have here is, right? Some people, we all speak English, or at least we understand the words that I'm saying. Maybe you speak a different language, you're using AI to translate this. Whatever it is, we can all understand each other at this point. I can say the same word over and over again, and you can take it in different ways, right? The same sentence that I say could have different meanings for everybody. So if I just consistently drill it home, even if we get different meanings from what I'm saying, hopefully over time, it'll become more clear as to what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say here, getting all distracted, is that we are in a consolidation phase. Overall, we're in a consolidation phase. This consolidation phase can see a lower low. Doesn't mean that it will. It can see a higher high. Doesn't mean that it will, though it probably does. At some point, we probably do get above this high, maybe later this month of June or sometime in July. I suspect we'll be consolidating until the end of July, if not sometime in August, and then we're going to get boned, and then it's going to go down, okay? And we're going to go all the way down that way. And now, with that being said, with a little summary in mind, we're going to start off with the 1 hour time frame. We're going to go into the actual TA portion here. So looking at this, to me, it seems as though we're kind of rounding off. It's the 1 hour time frame, but this applies to anything. I mean, it's an insignificant time frame, but it seems as though we're kind of rounding off here. You do have this almost like a head and shoulders type of structure. I wouldn't call it a head and shoulders, though the profile for the volume does match. I would believe that we're going lower. Yeah, we're probably going to see some lower prices here pretty soon. 1 hour RSI rejecting the overbought zone. You tried, but you just could not succeed. You've broken through your higher low format there, and it looks like you're going to go lower. So down is the call. Stochastics look a bit neutral, but bearish overall. The MACD, pretty bullish, honestly. I mean, this amount of green is very bullish. The thing is, you had a false red cross here, You flipped green, but you're still decaying in your bullish momentum. You moved up a little bit. You did move up consistently, but again, you're kind of decaying at the rate of growth, right? You can see it if we connect these. That's not what I was looking to do. Hold on. Let's try this. If we connect these dots like this, right? I guess there you kind of accelerated a little bit, but here you're decaying. You can see you're decaying, and now you're not building, even though you're still above the zero on the MACD. I think now you can see you're building bearish momentum. Even though you're somewhat bullish on the MACD, I'm kind of taking a bearish stance on this right now, overall. 4-hour time frame. And again, the reason why I think it's bearish to pump over the weekend is most of the market participants in crypto, I shouldn't say most, maybe not by population, maybe by population, but most market participants, as far as people who have money that matters, that can move the markets, they don't trade on the weekends most of the time, I would assume. Most of the time they're trading during the regular week, during regular hours, during long weekends like this too. It's a 3-day weekend because of Juneteenth. Whether you celebrate it or not, whatever, doesn't matter. The fact that it's a long weekend typically promotes very boring or misleading price action typically, and the fact that we've moved up, and on the weekends when we move up we typically move down over the week. It's just all this fuel to the fire of what I do believe is going to send us lower. If we look at this on the 4-hour time frame, sorry, 4-hour time frame here, we are finding resistance at the 60, finding resistance there. You bounced off the oversold zone. That's nice. You were getting overbought. Overall, a somewhat bullish looking RSI, but I think we are shifting a little bit bearish here. I wouldn't be surprised if we maintain this kind of trajectory. Maybe we come down and then we come back up and find resistance here until eventually getting oversold like that. It does have an overall kind of bullish take to it, but I would say the ball's in the bears' court right now. Looking at the stochastics, we've been overbought. It's the weekend, time to come down. MACD is coming up to the zero, time to come down probably. We've been green for quite a while, building bearish momentum now. I would assume we're going to start building here and reject the zero. This is a test. We're probably going to fail that test. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Got to clear that out. Hold on. Did I even mute it? I think I muted it. Here, whenever the MACD crossed below the zero, what did we do? We came right back up, and then we flipped red. We really rejected it, right? We were green for a while. We had a deep drive, came down, and then boom, they rejected. Here, we were green for a while. We came down. We had a nice deep drive. We're coming up, and we're probably going to reject. Just because it happened before that way doesn't mean it has to happen this way, but it's somewhat of a common thing to observe there. The stochastics being overbought as well. I think that it makes sense that we're going to go lower. Nice little run there on the 4-hour RSI, but again, it was over. I think it was at a point that we expected to find resistance. If we look at this here, from a high to a low, you literally went right to your 382. I mean, it's perfect. It's storybook. It's literally a match made in heaven. And I would assume that we are at least going to go down to 60K, if not very well below this level here. I want to go over the liquidation map here real quick because I want to make a point. I saw this post, I think it was Cointelegraph, that said there's only $3 billion in long positions. Which, everybody's like, oh, wow, there's a lot more shorts. Well, yesterday there was 20 billion in shorts. Now there's 16 billion. So it's actually a lot less over the last year. And this isn't completely accurate, by the way. I don't think that this is a 100% accurate representation, but it's good enough information to where it is useful sometimes, not always, okay? Don't treat it like it's a 100% fact book, and this stuff can change like that, man. It really can. But the thought here was there's only $3 billion to the long side. As if, okay, this is an insignificant amount of money, and market makers aren't going to hunt that. They're going to hunt for the shorts. That's not necessarily true, guys. Why not both? Why not dump the markets down? Think about it this way, right? You can hunt $3 billion, which is not a lot. It's not a small amount of money by any means at all. $3 billion is a ton of money, okay? Let's get that straight. I know we're in crypto land where it's these billions of dollars of market cap valuations are just thrown around like cheddar, but $3 billion is a lot of money. Market makers can crush the longs, obliterate the longs entirely, take us back around, if not even below this 60K level, 59K level, and then on top of that, the shorts will pile up. You're going to make money on the way down and then pile on the money that you're going to make to the upside, which the upside is wound up and ready to go. We've seen such a dramatic drop. We're certainly in a consolidation phase now. When we move up, we probably do get higher than this at some point between now and the end of July. There's going to be more shorts piled on, more money to liquidate, more funds to acquire if you are stop hunting, or exchanges are chasing these liquidation levels, or maybe it's just some fat cats with fat bags, whatever the case is. Imagine the turmoil, emotional turmoil for the market sentiment that would be if we came back down to this area. It's somewhat common to go from your 382 down to your 069, which is this pink line here, find support, and then move up. We don't have to see a lower low, though I really wouldn't be surprised if we did, right? If we did see a lower low here, my suspicion would be that it's not going to be dramatic. We probably go just below 59K. Maybe we go as low as like 57K, maybe. And then we move up. It's going to really throw people off because a lot of people are assuming this is the end of the bear market. They were really assuming this is the end of the bear market. Now it looks like a double bottom, whatever. The more that we interact with this level, the more it's going to throw off that thesis. And I think as we get into late July and August, that's really the time where we're going to start to see this final plunge down. And the low for the bear market may come in August. It may come in September, October, maybe November, December. It could be sometime later this year, but at the very earliest, I would suspect it's going to be August. We'll probably break out in July, but that's all future stuff. Getting back to the here, right now stuff, daily time frame. This RSI rejecting the 50 is no bueno, especially after getting oversold like this. I would assume that we come back down a little bit more, at least test this oversold area. Maybe we bounce right off it. Maybe we bounce just above it. Perhaps we get into it. Maybe we come all the way back down here and we get some type of higher low double bottom look on the daily RSI. Whatever the case may be, I do think we have lower to go. Stochastics rejecting the overbought zone, same thing, not good. The MACD overall is bearish as well. I really got nothing else but that to say. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. This is behaving unlike any double bottom I've seen so far in Bitcoin's history. I mean, let's just go back in time. One could argue that this was a double bottom, right? Look at how fast you reacted whenever you came back up. One could argue that this is a double top. Look at how fast you reacted whenever you came down, right? If we go to the double bottom here, that was in 2015, look at the reaction up immediately, and it's really the secondary reaction that matters the most, up immediately. You didn't do this thing. Do we have any other examples maybe of double bottoms, double tops? Kind of like a double bottom here. Look, you didn't dilly-dally, you just pumped right on up afterwards, right? Maybe not on the weekly time frame, but daily time frames, there's probably a lot more examples. I don't want to get into it too much. All I'm trying to say is, if this were a double bottom, we are, as far as the secondary low goes, we are performing very, very suboptimally. This is not double bottom. If it was a double bottom, the thing about a double bottom is you're coming down, okay? You're coming down. Nobody knows if it's the low or not. Okay, you get a bounce. People are excited. Maybe they FOMO the highs, whatever. Price starts to come back down. Everybody thinks at this point it's going to go lower. Double bottoms are like psychological psyops because it makes you think that it's going to go lower when really it's the optimal best time to buy. And the smart money buys right there. Smart money, aka people with more money than you or me put together, they buy down here, and that amount of volume sends the price up in a pretty short amount of time, typically. That doesn't mean that you should just go to 100K from here, but at least something more substantial than this. I mean, shit, guys, the last time that we bounced here, pardon my French, we bounced 16%. We bounced 16, and that was in like a day, by the way. From a low here to a high, it took us 2 weeks to get not even that. You know what I mean? That's versus a day. Weaker reaction from the same level. To me, that says this level is not going to hold us. If this is our double bottom bear market low, I don't think it would behave like this. Just because I don't think that, just because I've potentially made a case that makes sense why I don't believe this is the low. It could be logical. All these things could make sense. The statistics could be there that it's not a double bottom, and for whatever reason, we still pump. Nothing's guaranteed. But I've said my part. I've said my piece. I've given you my 2 cents. I don't have anything else to say. This weekly MACD is about to cross. It's about to cross red. And I would remind you, let's just go back in time before we finish this, okay? Let's go back in time real quick. Things are going to get worse. Just wait, okay? Things are going to get worse. Cross red here, cross red here, cross red here, and here, and here, okay? This was in a bull market. Okay, you crossed red, you went lower for 2 weeks. You at least went lower for 2 weeks when you crossed red. Here you crossed red, and how much did you drop? I mean, both times from a high here to a low there, you dropped 12%, 13% basically. Here from a high to a low, you dropped, and these aren't, 13% is nothing to crap your pants over, but 16%, 13%, you know, if Bitcoin drops that much, how much is the rest of the market going to drop? Here, we actually pumped relatively after that, but we consolidated for a long time, and overall, as time went on, from this point, maybe we pumped a little bit, but overall, you dropped 23%. From here, from this point where we crossed from the high to the low, you dropped 25%. Okay, and then here, this is our last cross before the bear market really started. I mean, that kicked off the bear market, okay? All of these red crosses that we just measured, this happened during a bull market, which means these red crosses are less significant. They're less significant in a bull market. We go to the bear market, the last bear market, and whenever you cross red here on the MACD, whenever you cross red here on the MACD, look at what followed. Look at what followed, guys. It was months, multiple months of downside. And maybe not a straight line down. You know, you moved sideways for a couple weeks, then you moved down, then you moved sideways for 4 weeks, then you moved down. You moved sideways for like 4 weeks, then you moved down, right? And then you started to consolidate, and then you moved lower, whatever. But you still moved lower, and for months. It was, you weren't in a bullish phase of your life. Let's just leave it at that, right? If you're about to flip red here, if you do flip red, when this MACD does cross red, we are in a bear market still, guys. I highly doubt it's going to be good. In fact, let's go one more time. One more time. I keep thinking I'm going to end it, but we're on a point here. Let's make this point. During this bull market, where were we in the MACD whenever we were at this low point here, right? We had already crossed red back in November. This low here was in December. So for a month, and we already saw this significant drop. By the time we saw the low, we started staving off our bearish momentum. Okay, when we were in this low area, we started building bullish momentum. Totally different than what we're doing right now. Totally different. Right now, we're staving off bullish momentum, and it's not looking good. Okay, we go to the last bear market before then. Let's see. Right down here, you weren't crossing red. You were already crossed red, but then you started to cross green. Again, you were already crossed red. Whenever you flipped red, that was the beginning of the end. That was like your last phase of the bear market, was once you flipped red here. We actually stayed green for a while and just moved sideways again before seeing any kind of bull market. And whenever I say sideways, I mean for a long time, guys, for months, for like more than half a year. Here it was like, November to April, so about half a year still. But I digress. I think I've made my point. We are nowhere near the end of this bear market. We have lower to go. Don't get too excited. And especially, zooming back into the short-term stuff, especially pumping over the weekend, I assume we're going to come down. So that's all I have for you. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.